smoking Brian Doran from, see if it'll focus on that. There we go. From 2014. The blue was a little much. I got this at the West Coast Pipe Show in Las Vegas. I'm thinking to myself, is that a true statement? But I think it is. It was an estate pipe. And, you know, and so I put a clear bit of vinyl tubing on there. And, you know, you don't want to cover up that blue. That blue is pretty amazing. So, I'm over at my friends, Allison and Vilas. They're down in Oregon picking up some sheep, apparently. And so Allison called me and said, "Oh no, that's a lot farther down here than I expected, and the dogs need to be let out." So I'm about 45 minutes away. So I said, "Sure, I'll go down there and let the dogs out, give me a little dog fix," although one of them's a hound, Bo, and he's stinky. Yeah, there he is. Bo, do you want to come over here? Yeah, it is on pace. So, anyway, it's just a kind of a pleasant, typically Seattle wintry day, I guess. Kind of misty. If you were a pine tree, you would love this. Because most evergreens tend to shut down photosynthesis when it gets too warm and hot and sunny. So this is when they're at their very peak. So breathe in all that photosynthetic action. So what am I smoking? I am smoking some Kensington from Cornell and Diehl. Kensington is a delightful Latakia mixture with a bit of restraint. Bright and red Virginia tobaccos are blended with richly flavored leaf from the Orient and a moderate proportion of Cyprian Latakia to provide a wonderfully balanced, medium-bodied smoke. You know, it's good. It's good. From the classic collection of GLPs. It's actually got a lot of lighter colored tobacco than I expected. But, yeah, it's nice. So Cornell and Diehl tobaccos aren't ones I normally will buy. In my experience, there's a lot of burley involved. I'm usually not a big burley guy. But there's an interesting story here. So this Kensington came to me, unbidden by me. I went to the post office yesterday and, oh, I've got a package. Really? I didn't order anything. So it was this priority mailbox here. And so I just have to laugh. Because honestly, you know, I make these videos in order to have a smoke. It feels like I'm socially smoking. And it's kind of crazy, but that's how it feels to me. And so I might not otherwise feel like smoking, but if I'm going to have a social smoke, I'm all in. So there's this nice note here. Dear Tom, I have been enjoying your videos for several years. In fact, you are the only pipe smoker on YouTube that I watch regularly. I have learned a lot from watching your videos. I've been smoking a pipe off and on since the fall of 2012, but have been interested in the hobby for almost 30 years. In my attempts to copy your technique, I ended up developing my own technique, yes, and finally achieved consistent results this summer. I never expect anybody to watch these videos. I mean, I never rewatch them. They've fulfilled their purpose for me once I have a smoke. So, so it always amazes me that people actually watch these videos. My taste in tobacco is similar to yours. English blends, in particular the Balkan variants, are my overall favorites in terms of flavor. While I smoke aromatics on occasion, I only get enthusiastic about those that taste like regular tobacco to some extent. For instance, Belmont Station, Autumn Evening, Haddo's Delight, the Virginia Cream, etc. Where we differ is that I am very fond of Lakeland blends and have developed a taste for quality Burley blends in the past couple years. When I first started smoking a pipe, I didn't really care for Burley dominant blends regardless of quality. As time went on, they became some of my favorites. Two of my favorites are Burley Ribbon Cut and Cavendish Cut Burley from Cornell and Diehl. While intended more for blending rather than smoking straight, I've come to adore them. They age really well. While I know that aging and Burley are not normally found in the same sentence, I've found that quality Burley blends will age quite nicely. I found that too. It has to be a kind of a quality blend. Yeah. I tend to store them moist and smoke them somewhat on the dry side, and I agree with that. Yeah, they tend to be kind of moist when you get them, but a quality Burley after a few years actually can really smooth out and be nice. Still has a lot of nicotine for me, but can be a nice smoke. It can be kind of monochromatic, but nice, kind of chocolatey, nutty. I have been wanting to send you some tobacco for a long time, but I did not have your address, and ever since YouTube removed the private messaging function, I was at a loss as to what to do. I thought about sending stuff to Doug at Cargo Hold with instructions to pass it on to you. That would have worked. But I wasn't sure if that would be legal. Yeah. Yeah, he might not appreciate that. Put him in a bind. Luckily, the other day I was watching the video you made about the pipe that guy from Canada sent you. Thank you, Richard. You held the package up just long enough that I was able to copy down your address. Luckily, we're all good people here. You know, for survivalists or antisocial people, that would be a worse nightmare, wouldn't it? I just have to laugh about that. The 6 blends enclosed are some of my all-time favorites. 3 are English, while the other 3 are in the Virginia Burley category. All of them age well, as all quality tobaccos should. Yeah. However, while 3 Friars is decent enough when fresh, I feel that it needs at least 1 to 3 years of aging before it truly shines. I have smoked both fresh tins and tins with 2 to 3 years of aging, and it is a night and day different experience. Kensington is very similar to Balkan Supreme, but I find it to be somewhat smoother overall and noticeably sweeter mid-bowl than Balkan Supreme. I'm not quite to the mid-bowl. It is smoother, it is lighter. And I'll bet it would age really well and just really blossom. I may have to get some of that. Now, I don't know how Tuggle Hall tastes when fresh. I bought 8 ounces 5 years ago and stored it in a mason jar in my bedroom closet and tried it for the first time a couple of weeks ago. 5 years ago, okay. It was amazing. Now, I doubt you'd want to wait that long, but you might like to grab some for yourself someday and set it aside for later. You won't be disappointed, I'm sure. All 6 tins were purchased during SmokingPipe.com's recent Black Friday super sale. I hope you enjoy all of these blends. You may already have these in your rotation, but in my opinion, there is no such thing as too much pipe tobacco in the cellar. Ain't it the truth? Happy smoking, Jeff. So thanks, Jeff. That's wow. That is awesome. Totally out of the blue. This YouTube Pipe Club thing is just pretty amazing. So I have lots to try in here. I have 6 blends. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to it. That is just great. And I'm not suggesting anybody else do that, please. I mean, I like to reciprocate, you know. It's like any gift giving. Hey, Bo, do you want to come over here? Bo. Totally oblivious. Bo, come here. Come here. Yeah. Are you a good pup? Let's see if we can't get you. There. Oh, yes. Oh, stinky dog. Little stinky dog. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, good boy. Get my little dog fix. And then there's this little cattle dog here that nips your heels if you let it get behind you. So you can't let it do that. It's pretty cute though. Yeah. Pretty cute little pup. I think his name is Tucker, as I remember. Something like that. So it's funny, Allison was just like, she almost couldn't bring herself to ask me to come over here. Because she is so independent. And I know how that is. You know, I'm kind of like that too. So, and then, you know, she was just effusive in her thanks and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I appreciate that. But I'm kind of the same way. I hate to ask people for anything. So, so my friend Sandy, who's a retired pediatric nurse, and just the greatest person ever, you know. She's going to drive me across on the ferry on Monday, which is 2 days from now, for a little back surgery. So she's a sweetheart to be doing that. And I feel the same way. I can't praise her enough for offering to do that. And because she's a nurse, she's like, do you have this detail taken care of? Do you have this taken care of? Do you have this? What about this? And, you know, it's just like, wow. So it's good. It kind of makes sure I'm really prepped. And I am. So it'll be day surgery, actually. Minimally invasive. A laminectomy, which is basically going in decompression. So they're going in and roto-rooting and cleaning out where the disc on one side is kind of squashed and pushing against the spinal cord. And then on the other side, there's some arthritis that is built up and is pushing. And so there's almost no space for the spinal cord, and that's the issue. So it's this mechanical thing that needs to be fixed. You know? It's like I'm like an old truck, and I just have a part that needs to be worked on, and you just got to work on it. What's going on in there, guys? Walk in on a dog fight. But I just can't wait to be able to walk again. Yeah. So this can't happen fast enough as far as I'm concerned. And our insurance changed a little bit. So my out-of-pocket on this, it's at the very end of the year. So I've had some expenses up to this point. And so I have my insurance, which is quite good actually, is used to be 80-20. They would pay 80, I would pay 20. Now it's 70-30, which I get. I mean, yeah, this could be a long discussion about health insurance, but it's 70-30 now. So my out-of-pocket will be about $3,500. So, but totally worth it. What's my option? Fly to India, and have something done there. It'd be quite a lot more expensive, I expect. So. And it looks like only that one place in my spinal cord that is stenotic is impacted like that. So what happened? I don't know. I was reviewing it, as a kid. I remember bicycling along in Denver on this sidewalk, moving probably at, I'll bet 15 to 18 miles an hour. And it was along a busy street down in Cherry Creek. And I looked over, and then I looked up, and there was a big guy wire from a huge power pole right in the middle of the sidewalk, totally unmarked. Oh my God. So of course I hit that. I was wearing a helmet, but it was like, that was a hard hit, I remember. What else could have damaged my back that way? Oh, hundreds of things. I mean, I'm a guy, you just crash around. Me more than a lot of people, I think. And carrying 90-pound sacks of concrete a quarter mile up a trail through the aspen trees to the building site down in Colorado, which I need to get to. I need to take a trip down there. And that's another thing. I was going to go to Scandinavia again this winter with my friends who traveled there. And wow, I just couldn't schlep my bag through airports, through long walks. I just can't walk that far without really being in serious pain. So I'm hoping to be able to travel again. That would be huge. It may not be 100% return to normality, but I'm looking forward to some real improvement. So we'll see. Satisfaction is all about expectations. So it's dangerous to really have many expectations, because even with a successful outcome, if your expectation is too high, you feel disappointed. That's just the reality of things. So trying not to be too unrealistic, but there's just a lot of exploring, walking, hiking, motorcycle riding that I want to do yet, and hopefully this will allow a majority of that to happen. I'd be happy with that outcome. So. Hey Jeff, this Kensington is good. I'm not sure it's quite... Well, see, the Balkan Supreme I have isn't the recent stuff. And every year, tobacco changes. Even if it's the same percentage of this type and this type and this type combined into one to make, say, Balkan Supreme, each year the crop is different. And it's going to be a different tobacco. The end result is just going to taste different from the year before. I remember reading an early article years ago in Pipes and Cigars about, it might have been Peter Stokkeby, and how they were talking to the master blender guy there, I forget his name, and he said the biggest challenge they have is consistency from year to year to year, because of those big differences in, tobacco is just a very natural product, and so it's naturally variable. So, making that consistent so it's a similar product at least from year to year is a real challenge. That Kensington is good. I'll bet it would really be great cellared. And I've kept most of my Balkan Supreme. I have some from a couple years ago when I was in Denver. I have some actually from last year. I picked up some in Chicago at Ivan Reese. And it was still pretty good. I think it has a little more upfront flavor than Kensington. But that's a good alternative. Good stuff. Thanks, Jeff. Totally appreciate it. And who would ever have thought? So I couldn't resist. I burned through the bowl of Kensington. Really a nice smoke. Burned down to white ash. Right from a fresh tin. That's pretty amazing. So a nice smokable mix right out of the freshly opened tin. Good flavor. Very mild and smooth. Be a good English to introduce somebody to Englishes to, I'd say. So, thanks, Jeff. This is really fun. Totally unexpected fun too. So I'm gonna start another bowl here. Of Tuggle Hall from Cornell and Diehl. See if it'll. There we go. Tuggle Hall. And this is a nice mixture of Cyprian Latakia, white burley. I don't know the difference between burleys. And some Perique. Many find Tuggle Hall to be quite reminiscent of old style English blends. There's a really nice tin note. Just has that kind of tin note that says, I'm going to be a good smoker. There's going to be some flavor in there. Now, I shouldn't be trying this in a pipe I just smoked with a different blend. I mean, that's not really fair. In fact, honestly, if we were really trying to go for the high quality review, which mine never are, I would smoke it in a clay pipe, actually, just to really taste purely the tobaccos. But this is the only pipe I brought, so okay. I can taste the Perique. It's got that little spicy, almost acidic, but it's almost more alkaline spiciness. That's interesting. And that's what sets Perique apart, I think, is that quality of spiciness. Yeah, I would call it more alkaline than acid. So. White burley. Now the burleys I've enjoyed have been aged, and they're kind of, I don't know, they're just broader, and they're good. They're chocolatey, kind of. Not really getting a lot of chocolate out of this. And you can tell it's a young blend. So, and it's getting dark here too. So maybe it'll push into total darkness here. I just wanted to give the dogs some time to have a little yard time and do their business. It gives me a chance to just kind of hang out and smoke too, so that's nice. So Christmas is coming up, and I'm going to head down to town here, and I need to make a little run to Costco and do a few chores like that. That's the best place to get cat litter for Elsa. So I want to do that before I'm laying on my back recovering next week. So we need to stock her up on a little food and a little cat litter, and I need to buy some easy to prepare meals and stuff. So yeah. But Christmas is a time where I don't do a whole lot of Christmas shopping, but I'll send cards out. So I've been taking a few photos and, frosty mornings, and so I'll make my own Christmas cards. But normally, prices are pretty good on stuff. You can find some deals. So I'll stock up if I need, like, t-shirts or underwear or socks or something. Although, honestly, I do most of that on eBay. I don't know. It's just, you find a certain kind of thing you like, and then it's hard to find it at mainstream stores. So, and then I like workwear, what we call workwear, and it's sturdy clothes that blue collar guys, even though I'm not really blue collar these days. Like I found some Carhartt work pants that have double knees and a cell phone pocket, and they just fit good, and so they've become my everyday wear. But of course, they don't make those anymore. But I'm always kind of on the lookout for some replacement to those. So there's a workwear store down there. I'll stop in and see if I see anything. And then I like American-made work boots. So, like Wesco's, White's. For some reason, the Pacific Northwest has a whole bunch of different handmade work boot shops that produce that stuff. And so Wesco's down north of Portland, in Scappoose. Whites are in Spokane. Nicks are in Spokane. Those are my wildland boots. That's another thing I want to do again with my back repair. Hopefully I'll be able to do that, some more of that this coming summer. Then when I was down in Pendleton at a conference, there was a little storefront downtown that what was their name? Gosh, I can't remember it now. But I had them make me a pair of boots, and I wear those a lot. There are Drew's boots. They're in Bend, Oregon. Good stuff. Thickest leather in boots I've ever found. Pretty amazing. Tough to break in as a result. But there's just something about high quality work boots that I just really like. So I have my little herd of work boots. I have a hard time in my little cabin finding a place for them. So they're kind of scattered around. But and like Filson stuff, this is a Filson jacket, and I've got a Carhartt vest on, and I wear that stuff all the time. And it's just, it just feels good. And the work pants, they come in like black, dark blue, tan, and silver. And so the black ones, gosh, you just do a nice button-down shirt, add a tie, and maybe a Filson wool vest, and man, you're dressed up. These days, when people don't wear suits near as much. I do have a few suits, but man, they're so out of date. I don't know if they'd even fit. It's been years since I tried them on. But Christmas is often when I'll buy myself a little something or stock up. But I have plenty of boots. I found a pair of used Wesco Jobmasters. They're like 10-inch tall boots, in really good shape for... I kind of stole them, and the price was low. Nobody else bid on them. But I'm wearing them. They're great. So anyway, that's just kind of my little thing. I'm pretty easy to please. So this Tuggle Haul is good. It's got a little edge to it. Feels like when I stand up, I'm going to feel the nicotine. But Jeff, thanks again. Really a lot of fun to try these blends. So I really appreciate it.